welcome to Low Culture High Tea, and today we'll be reviewing The Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 10. So I was a bit iffy about continuing to watch this show. At this point, I just watched for Angela. Kenya she did something wrong, but she's like a missing element to the show. Like, we need more OGs. So at this point, I'm mostly just watching for Angela and a little bit of Kelly. I like her so far, but she seems a bit flip-floppy to me. So the opening scene of this episode is just Kelly with her children. She seems really close to them, especially with her eldest. It seems more like a friendship than a mother-daughter relationship, but we don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. Okay, so next we see Ralph and Shimmy are meeting up, which is a very strange, I wouldn't have pegged that Shimmy and Ralph were friends. Shimmy keeps saying, oh, we've been on a podcast together, but this whole thing seems concocted by Portia just to be messy. And when Portia meets them, all I can think is that Portia has no right to be mad at Drew for working with Dennis. When she's meeting up with Drew's ex, the whole thing just seemed off and weird, and messy as well. And you can kind of catch Shamir's shade in the confessionals. And I know on Watch What Happens Live, Shamir was like, I'm not a lapdog, I'm just a loyal friend. And clearly this friendship is very one-sided. You don't see Portia writing for Shamir in the same way, and you don't see Portia supporting Shamir in the same way, even just on a personal level, because we do know that Shamir is having her own fertility struggles and health struggles with her own kids. And as we can see from the next episode, Portia basically just ignores or just dismisses Shamir's feelings. Later on we see in Portia's like Pampered by Portia party or whatever, Shamir doesn't close her eyes when she meditates, or she just stands up, and I'm like, you're finally getting sympathy for Shamir, because I was one of those friends in the past. Like, I would never bring up if I had an issue with someone's behavior, or my own emotions, or bring up my own emotions. I'm not too sure what the state of Portia and Shamir's friendship is right now, but it's probably as rocky as it's ever been. Like, probably has been that way behind the scenes for a long time. Next, we also see Angela showing Kelly one of her rentals, and what I like about Angela is she's very transparent about her wealth. She doesn't put on airs like other housewives have in the past, and she's just real. Next, we see a scene with Brittany and her husband. I have no idea why her mother has to live with her. Usually I just fast forward from Brittany's scenes. She just comes off as very inauthentic, like she's putting on airs, pretending to be someone she's not, and like she has more than she actually does. And it's also cringy to see her with her husband, because it seems like he doesn't actually like her. Like, he seems annoyed by her all the time. So fast forward. Next we get a scene with Angela and Portia playing tennis with Angela's daughter. And I love Angela's confessionals. She's very shady, and it's giving old school Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, she feels like someone who could fit in with Nene and Sheree and all of the old cast. I don't think we'll ever get the old cast back, but that's just the vibes that Angela's giving. And also what stood out for me in this scene is that Portia is giving friends of, she isn't leading the show in any way. And it's disappointing, especially with Kenya gone, because of her her miscalculation and letting a newbie run her off the show. Like, you should know better. And then the last scene is Portia's pamper party. I've been reading on Twitter, people are like, the only reason she's doing any of this is because she thought she was set for life when she married Simon, but he turned out to be a scammer. The scene was, they all looked really nice, like they're all stunning, especially Cynthia, as always. But then we see Shamia getting word of what was said about her, and it was so funny to see Shamia like not lying down during the meditation thingy. I'm hoping, and then we see next week's episode where she actually confronts Portia. I'm not too sure where that's gonna go. Okay, so overall with this season, it was good for the first 6 episodes, and I'm liking Kelly and Angela so far. I don't like Britt. I think she's the wrong person to be cast for Housewives. She's not Housewives material, and she's just irritating to watch. I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue watching this show, especially with Phaedra coming on our screens again. After what she did to Candy, it's hard to watch her. It's very sociopathic. So far this season is maybe 6 out of 10. I might continue watching just for Angela because I like her confessionals and I like the shade she throws, and she's not afraid to stand on her own 2 feet. But yeah, that was it. This is